bit different. Still testing this out. Hopefully the timing will be a little bit better. I don't plan to stay up late like I did last time. Let's see how this turns out. Alright, so currently I spent a few minutes just cleaning out some war table missions because I just wanted to get them done and over with. And I abused the internal clock of my PlayStation 4 just to move them faster. I love it whenever I hit that thing. I doubt anyone's gonna show up, but that's fine. I'm only doing this just to get a sense of... just so I have a video somewhere in the archive. So I can, listen to this later on and figure out what I need to fix if I'm gonna do more streaming in the future. And in case anyone hops on and makes any messages, probably not. Which is fine. At the very least, this means I won't have to look at my computer all that much. I am kind of doing nothing at the moment. I think my audio was fine before, so I didn't really change all that much for the audio. Well, we'll see if it really is as good. And I really do not like my icon for my PS4, my PlayStation account. Hi, Tess. You know, all the times that I say your name out loud, I'm not sure if I say it properly every time. Yeah, is there any other running around I have to do? Just mostly picking up codex entries and shit. I'm probably gonna go to Valroyo after this. Because I have enough, points. Alright, that chest doesn't open. Why leave that chest there if it's not gonna be used? Makes no sense.
The Inquisition cannot remain, Ambassador, if you can't prove it was founded on Justinian's orders.
This is an inopportune time, Marquis. More of the faithful flock here each day. But allow me to introduce you to the brave soul who risked her life to slow the magic of the breach. Mistress Lavelan, this is the Marquis d'Aurelion.
It's the one time Lavelan is pronounced differently.
And the rightful owner of Haven. House d'Aurelion lent Justinia these lands for pilgrimage. This includes the beneficiary of this arrangement.
This is the first I've heard of Haven having an owner outside the Chantry.
My wife, Lady Machin of Denham, has claimed to Haven by ancient treaty with the monarchs of Ferelden. We were honored to lend this use to divine Justinia. She was a woman of supreme merit.
Your mask surely isn't.
Order remain on her holy grounds.
People have been injured. You can't just turn them out onto the snow.
And who benefits if they stay?
Divine Justinia, Marquis. The Inquisition, not the Chantry, is sheltering the pilgrims who mourn her.
Why is the Chantry ignoring the faithful?
Because it remains in shock.
He
We
really
face a
does
dark
have an
time,
ugly
Your Grace.
mask.
Divine Justinia would not want her passing to divide us. She would, in fact, trust us to forge new alliances to the benefit of all, no matter how strange they might seem.
Yeah, I still have to tweak around a bit with my sound settings, because I'm just not sure how much is good,
I'll think on it,
I
Lady
guess.
Montpellier. The Inquisition might stay in the meanwhile.
But I also have my headphones on, so I don't want to have the sound on too loud that I basically just blast my ears out.
Do the Durelions actually have a claim on this place?
His Grace's position is not so strong as he presents it. Despite their Ferelden relations, the Durelions are our legion. If the Marquis wishes to claim Haven, Empress Selene must negotiate with the Ferelden on his behalf. Her current concerns are a bit larger than minor property disputes.
I apologize for the intrusion. I didn't realize you were meeting with the Marquis.
You did little harm. In truth, the debate was most beneficial as practice for those to come.
You expect more people in Haven?
Undoubtedly. And each visitor will spread the story of the Inquisition after they depart. An ambassador should ensure the tale is as complimentary as possible.
Yeah, any other feedback, feel free to just mention it in the comments.
May I ask, what brought you to work for the Inquisition?
Sister Leliana approached me. We've been acquainted for quite some time. For better or worse, being the Inquisition's diplomat has become as interesting as she promised.
What sort of dealings have you had with nobility?
For some years, I was the royally appointed court ambassador from Antiva to Orlais. The nobility of Thedas is a rather singular sphere. Those I'm not acquainted with, I know through reputation.
The Inquisition is lucky to have you as an advocate, Lady Montpellier.
Thank you. Let us hope so. Thedas's politics have become agitated as of late. I hope to guide us down smoother paths. But please excuse me. I've much work to do before the day is done.
Yeah. About time. Yeah, I have this habit of just listening to everybody talk, although when it comes to, people like Maeve, I just skip.
You're the Herald. Or, well, the one they're calling the Herald. Anyway,
Skip.
I hope the Inquisition can restore order soon.
You guys can just read the
Whenever
text.
My name is Maeve. I research demons and other creatures. Seeker Pentagast and I use what I find to help the soldiers fight them.
I found something
God,
the
why
demons
is
left
this
behind.
stuff
Can you
usually
use
so
it?
Yes, that's very helpful.
Good. That was easy.
Yes. Good.
Alright. Let's get to the war table and get to Valmario. So, as I mentioned earlier, I just completed a couple of, whatever missions were available on the map. Basically, I just complete whatever assignments that give me money or influence. I don't pay too much attention to the text. It's just another issue I have with Inquisition. Though it's kind of minor. It's not a massive deal breaker. Well, I am at level 4.
Having the Herald address the clerics is not a terrible idea.
You can't be serious.
Mother Giselle isn't wrong. At the moment, the Chantry's only strength is that they are united in opinion.
And we should ignore the danger to the Herald.
Let's ask her.
I'm more concerned this won't actually solve any problems.
I agree. It just lends credence to the idea that we should care what the Chantry says.
I will go with her. Mother Giselle said she could provide us names. Use them.
But why? This is nothing but a...
What choice do we have, Liliana? Right now, we can't approach anyone for help with the breach. Use what influence we have to call the clerics together. Once they are ready, we will see this through.
Yeah, let's just get this over with. And I swear, after all this talking, I need to get some fighting in. Because this is otherwise going to be one long session full of nothing but talking and talking and making fun of Orlesian accents. Because in case if anyone doesn't know, I don't like Orlais. Like, at all. The masked empire is not helping. Usually I arrive a little bit later than this, and so some of the armor is a little bit different, but I kind of want to breeze through this.
Just a guess, Seeker, but I think they all know who we are.
Your skills of observation never fail to impress me, Varric.
My Lady Herald.
You're one of Leliane's people. What have you found?
The Chantry Mothers await you, but so do a great many Templars.
There are Templars here?
People seem to think the Templars will protect them from the Inquisition. They're gathering on the other side of the market. I think that's where the Templars intend to meet you.
Only one thing to do, then.
Now, this one conversation I don't always get right away, because how finicky it can be.
They wish to protect the people from
Ah,
us?
there we go.
We knew there would be some kind of reaction.
But I didn't expect the Templars to make an appearance.
The people may just be assuming what the Templars will do. I've heard of no concrete plans.
You think the Order's return to the fold, maybe? To deal with us upstarts?
I know.
I love how everyone's just off in different
I can't
directions.
imagine him coming to the Chantry's defense. Not after all that's occurred.
We're doing all this to get help with the breach. Maybe this is our chance to get the Templars on our side.
Perhaps. Return to Haven. Someone will need to inform them if we are delayed.
As you say, my lady.
Yeah. More codexy thingies. Yay, gained a level. Move, Varric. Yeah. And I guess last time I had a lot more to say because I was partially nervous. But I think I'm gonna pick up Vivian and Sarah as soon as I'm done with Templars punching Chantry sisters in the face. Yeah, get this cutscene done.
Good people of Val Royal, hear me. Together, we mourn our divine. A naive and beautiful heart, silenced by treachery. You wonder what will become of a murderer. Well, wonder no more. Behold, the so-called Herald of Andraste, claiming to rise where our beloved fell. We say this is a false prophet. The Maker would send no elf in our hour of need.
That's racist.
You say I am the enemy. The breach in the sky is our true enemy. We must unite to stop it.
It's true. The Inquisition seeks only to end this madness before it is too late.
It is already too late. The Templars have returned to the Chantry. They will face this Inquisition, and the people will be safe once more.
I don't really think that's a good place to punch someone.
Still yourself. She is beneath us.
Like, that's right in the spine.
You're not here to deal with the Inquisition.
As if there were any reason to.
Lord Seeker Lucius, it's imperative that we speak with...
You will not address me.
One of the problems was that this guy's name's Lucius. That's
Lord
not...
Seeker?
That's not creepy sounding.
A heretical movement. Raising up a puppet as Andraste's prophet. You should be ashamed. You should all be ashamed. The Templars failed no one when they left the Chantry to purge the mages. You are the ones who have failed. You who'd leash our righteous swords with doubt and fear. If you came to appeal to the Chantry, you are too late. The only destiny here that demands respect is mine.
If you're not here to help the Chantry, then you just came to make speeches.
I came to see what frightens old women so, and to laugh.
Well, where's your laughter then?
Seeker, what if she really was sent by the Maker? What if...
You are called to a higher purpose. Do not question.
I will make the Templar Order a power that stands alone against the Void. We deserve recognition. Independence. You have shown me nothing, and the Inquisition, less than nothing. Templars, Val Royo is unworthy of our protection. We march.
I never really understood why the Templars wanted independence.
Charming fellow, isn't he?
Has Lord Seeker Lucius gone mad?
Like,
Do you know him very well?
He took over the Seekers of Truth 2 years ago, after Lord Seeker Lambert's death. He was always a decent man, never given to ambition and grandstanding. This is very bizarre.
It doesn't look like we'll be getting the Templars to help us after all.
I wouldn't write them off so quickly. There must be those in the Order who see what he's become. Either way, we should first return to Haven and inform the others.
I think that was a detail that somehow just got lost somewhere. Like, I never really understood why the Templars wanted independence. Like, was the Chantry just not harsh enough on the mages?
The Inquisition's going to fix the whole sky?
That's what we're attempting, yes.
No one is
There's like several things about the Mage Templar stuff that just did not work entirely well.
Abandon us? Listen, your camp will need food. I have contacts.
I usually miss this person in most of my runs.
Never been part of something this
I almost always miss her, but she is an agent.
Going to seal the sky. I want to help.
What do you think, Cassandra?
I think the woman is asking you and not me.
Well, she is.
The Herald of Andraste. Yes, I understand. Haven is a mess, but we won't turn away anyone willing to help. Invite her, if it pleases you.
Head to Haven, then. We need good people.
I don't know if I'm that, but it will be nice to see. Thank you.
And then I get free PowerPoints. Huzzah. Win-win. It's really not that difficult to get agents. Guys, why do you keep blocking my way? But I usually do miss her.
What's that?
Wait.
An arrow with a message?
Wait, where did that arrow go? Alright. Alright, note to self, I am not bringing up the screen like this when I record in the future, because I can't see shit very well.
I believe that messenger is trying to get our attention.
You are the Herald of Andraste, are you not? I have an invitation for you.
I once recruited Vivian after I got to Skyhold, and it wasn't really worth it. She just wasn't as interesting. And she was a lot more cold and distant than she usually is. So I just recruit her right away. Just makes more sense that way, in my opinion. Yeah, might as well just get revival. And then get a few archery stuff. Yeah, I don't really use Varric all that much, so I don't entirely care what skills he invests in. Just like some of these trees. Part of the reason why I just search every nook and cranny of this area is because I just want to get as much experience right off the bat as possible. Saves me some trouble later.
Ever since our divine was murdered, toothless old fools are lost.
Alright, that's... Bioware, it would have really helped if you made an entranceway there. So I don't have to hop through. Yeah,
Let's look around.
I'm not sure if I want to side... I'm probably going to side with the mages this time. Kind of like with a lot of other things about Inquisition, I'm of two minds about whether to go with the mages or the Templars. On the one hand, I prefer in Hushed Whispers the mage mission better in general. The story's kind of fun, and let me get past this. There we go. And I love Dorian. So Dorian is almost enough to kind of go, well, it's just better. Going with the mages is better. And I guess the story just more in terms of, mainly that I just kind of like some of the stuff with Teventer compared to like the Templar stuff, which the Templar mission has better gameplay, I will admit, but I didn't find the story as compelling. I don't really find that the Templars all that compelling in general. I kind of put a little more blame in terms of... I put more blame on how the writer... Not so much what the writers created, but like what was put in the game and what's left for side material that's more optional, or how much is hiding in codexes rather than the main plot. So I guess it's probably more of a nitpick if a lot of the interesting aspects of the Templars are mainly reserved for codex entries. But Champions of the Justice is a lot more challenging gameplay-wise as well. And I do kind of like the idea of the Inquisitor, or the Herald, at least at that point in the game still, has to go into, is stuck in the Fade, not in the Fade, stuck inside and is being affected by a demon, and then you meet Cole. I think that's kind of interesting. Okay, I got all the Red Jenny stuff. But I think it doesn't entirely work because your character is such a blank slate that whatever depth that could have... What kind of other depth and character development that could potentially come out of it just isn't there. And there's no initial material that could be used as, used for a character arc. And just kind of a shame. Oh wait, I have to go on the upper level. Oh, Fiona. I don't care about her much.
Grand Enchanter Fiona?
Leader of the Mage Rebellion. Is it not dangerous for you to be here?
I heard of this gathering, and I wanted to see the fabled Herald of Andraste with my own eyes.
Mainly because I
If
haven't
it's
read The
help with
Calling.
the breach you seek, perhaps my people are the wiser option.
I'm surprised the leader of the mages wasn't at the conclave.
Yes. You were supposed to be, and yet somehow you avoided death.
As did the Lord Seeker, you'll note. Both of us sent negotiators in our stead in case it was a trap. I won't pretend I'm not glad to live. I lost many dear friends that day. It disgusts me to think the Templars will get away with it. I'm hoping you won't let them.
So you think the Templars are responsible?
Why wouldn't she?
Lucius hardly seems broken up over his losses, if he's concerned about them at all. You heard him. You think he wouldn't happily kill the Divine to turn people against us? So yes, I think he did it. More than I think you did it, at any rate.
The mages weren't willing to talk to the Inquisition before. Why now?
Because now I've seen what you are. And I've seen the Chantry for what it is. Consider this an invitation to Redcliffe. Come, meet with the mages. An alliance could help us both, after all.
Thank you,
I hope
Tessie.
to see you there. Au revoir, my Lady Herald.
Come, let us return to Haven.
Wait, I still have some stuff to explore. No, I'm not leaving. Good. Well, I guess it also just depends on like what kind of person you are, in terms of if you're good at just saying things on the fly or if you're not. Oh, I think my roommate just got back. Oh. So... in general, in the right environment, I tend to be a lot more quiet. But in cases like this, since this is something, since I do like video games and I'm passionate about them, then I can, if anyone is willing to hear me, I can rant, I can talk and talk and talk for a long, long ass time. But yeah, so Fiona, I still don't know her character all that well because I haven't read The Calling. Out of all the... In fact, I haven't really read any of the comics, or really any of the books besides The Masked Empire, which I started, well, the audiobook version, about a month ago, and I'm going through it rather slowly because it's a little on the dry side. I mean, Patrick Weeks, you're a pretty decent writer. You wrote some of the best stuff in Mass Effect 3, but Masked Empire's kind of hard to get through. And so there's a lot of side stuff that I mainly just pick up on from the wiki and not, you know, from the direct source, from direct sources besides the games. So with Fiona, I'm pretty well aware that she is Alistair's mother. I know that at least, but beyond that, I'm not sure who she is as a person, and I really get the feeling that this game does not really do her character justice. Although, to be fair, I am only halfway through the Masked Empire, and neither Celine nor Briella are done well in this game. They are far more interesting in the Masked Empire. Okay. Fine. If anything, I kind of have a little more respect for Celine, having gone through the book and actually seeing her get into some action. which is kind of cool. It's kind of hard to visualize though because I only really see her in game in a giant blue gown. All right. So, yeah. Fiona probably could have been written better. Though I think that's kind of a little note to add for Inquisition in general. It's like the game that really could have been done better with maybe a little bit slightly smarter writing and prioritizing what should be in the game and what shouldn't be. Because this is a good game. It's really good, but there's is an uneven amount of filler and actually good content.
Well, they know who I work for at least.
Yay. A little bit of combat. Finally. Part of me just wants to know who the heck is this noble that we're going after. Like this noble here. It's like, what's his story and why does he think the Herald of Andraste is interested in him?
Herald of Andraste, how much did you expend to discover me? It must have weakened the Inquisition immeasurably.
I don't know who you are.
You don't fool me. I'm too important for this to be an accident. My efforts will survive in victories against you elsewhere.
So Orlesian. Clearly, we're the best.
Say what?
What is that?
The string went straight through her boob.
Squishy one, but you heard me, right? Just say what? Rich tits always try for more than they deserve.
Blah, blah, blah. Obey me. Arrow in my face. So, you followed the notes well enough. Glad to see you're... And you're an elf. Well, hope you're not too elfy. I mean, it's all good, isn't it? The important thing is you glow. You're the herald thingy.
Some believe I'm the Herald of Andraste. But who are you, and what's this about?
No idea. I don't know this idiot from Manners. My people just said the Inquisition should look at him.
Your people? Elves?
No. People. Name's Sarah. This is cover. Get round it. For the reinforcements. Don't worry. Someone tipped me their equipment shed. They've got no breaches.
Why didn't you take their weapons?
Because no breaches.
Thank you, Solus. The one time you actually turned someone to ice when I can shatter them instantly. Yeah, that was a common problem on my test stream earlier this week.
Friends really came through with that tip. No breaches. So, Herald of Andraste. You're a strange one. I'd like to join.
How about we get to know each other first? You know, names and such.
One name. No, wait, two. Well, it's like this. I sent you a note to look for hidden stuff by my friends. The Friends of Red Jenny. That's me. Well, I'm one. So is a fence in Montfort, some woman in Kirkwall. There were 3 in Starkhaven, brothers or something. It's just a name, yeah? It lets little people, friends, be part of something while they stick it to nobles they hate. So here, in your face, I'm Sarah. The Friends of Red Jenny are sort of out there. I use them to help you. Plus arrows.
The Inquisition has spies
I always pick the
already.
spy
Can you add
option
to these
because
professionals?
I know
Here's how it
that
is.
just makes more
you
sense.
Important people are up here, shoving your cods around. Blah blah. I'll crush you. I'll crush you. Ooh, crush you. Then you've got cloaks and spy kings, like this tit. Or was he one of the little knives, all serious with his little knife? All those secrets, and what gave him up? Some houseboy who don't know shite, but knows a bad person when he sees one. So no, I'm not knifey shiv dark, all hidden.
If you don't listen down here too, you risk your breeches. Like those guards, I stole their... Look, do you need people or not? I want to get everything back to normal. Like you.
Sarah. Sarah. She grows on me a bit. Slowly.
Back there you wanted to know if I glowed. Why?
That's what you do, innit? You walked out of somewhere and now you glow. Andraste's herald. True or not, it seemed like the easiest way to know it was you.
True or not?
Well, that's what they say and all. Look, don't get ahead, yeah? I want to help this... whatever it is. Inquisition.
Oh, Sarah, you are so fluent when it comes to words.
Alright, Sarah. I can use you and your friends.
Yes! Getting good before you're too big to like. That'll keep your breeches where they should be. Plus extra breeches because I have all these... You have merchants who buy that piss, yeah? Got to be worth something. Anyway, Haven. See you there, Herald. This will be grand.
Since there's nothing really here, I just keep my party empty and just pick up everything else. I missed a Templar greatsword. Jeez, how many schematics do I just not have? In fact, I probably don't want to know. Yeah, so... I'm probably not going to use Sarah all that much here either. I might switch between her and Varric, depending on my mood. But in general, they're probably not going to get much use in this playthrough. In this run, whatever you want to call it. So I'm already a rogue, and I'm already an archer. And now I have 2 of them. I wish this loading screen lasts a little bit longer so I could read some of the stuff. Also, I have my headset on currently, and now I'm hearing some music that I don't really hear when I have my TV. Sound from my TV.
Lady Lavellan, on behalf of the Inquisition.
What a pleasure to meet you, my lady. Seeing the same faces at every event becomes so tiresome.
I want to shoot things
so you
up.
Must be a guest of Madame de Fer, or are you here for Duc Bastien?
Are you here on business? I have heard the most curious tales of you. I cannot imagine half of them are true.
I'm not familiar with that name. I was invited here by First Enchanter Vivienne.
Madame de Fer is a fond nickname the court has given Lady Vivienne.
I've heard she finds it amusing.
I've heard very little about Duc Bastien.
He hasn't been seen much at court lately.
His business with the Council of Heralds often takes him from home for long periods. It can't be good for a man of his years.
And of course, there's the Civil War. Bastien probably wishes to distance himself from the actions of his one-time son-in-law.
Tearing up the Dales in a foolish bid for power? It will end in disgrace for Gaspard. Everyone knows it.
Yeah, I remember hearing, God, there were so many names
Some of those storytellers
in that whole Civil War crap that I can't remember who's
for
who.
the best effect. The Inquisition is a ripe subject for wild tales.
The Inquisition. What a lot of pig shit. Washed up sisters and crazed seekers. No one can take them seriously. Everyone knows it's just an excuse for a bunch of political outcasts to grab power.
I've never made any claims to holiness. What's your point?
In front of all these people, you admit to being a pretentious usurper.
Yeah.
We know what your Inquisition truly is. If you were a woman of honor, you'd step outside and answer the charges.
Yeah, Llewellyn, you are no master of the game. No player
My dear
either.
Marquis, how unkind of you to use such language in my house to my guests.
Vivienne.
You know such rudeness is intolerable.
Madame Vivienne, I humbly beg your pardon.
You should. Whatever am I going to do with you, my dear? My lady, you're the wounded party in this unfortunate affair. What would you have me do with this foolish, foolish man?
You know what? Let's just let Vivienne shine.
The Marquis
Do her
doesn't
thing.
interest me. Do whatever you like with him. Poor Marquis. Issuing challenges and hurling insults like some Ferelden doglord. And all dressed up in your Aunt Solange's doublet. Didn't she give you that to wear to the Grand Tourney? To think all the brave chevaliers who will be competing left for Markham this morning, and you're still here. Were you hoping to sate your damaged pride by defeating the Herald of Andraste in a public duel? Or did you think her blade could put an end to the misery of your failure? Run along, my dear. Do give my regards to your aunt.
I love you, Vivienne.
I'm delighted you could attend this little gathering. I've so wanted to meet you. Allow me to introduce myself. I am Vivienne, first enchanter of Montsimard and enchantress to the Imperial Court.
Is that Marquis going to pose a problem?
His aunt is the Vicomtesse of Mont de Glace. Not a powerful family, but well respected. And very devout. Alphonse will be disowned for this. It's not the first time he's brought his aunt disgrace, but I'm sure it'll be the last. And after such a public humiliation, I expect he'll run off to the Dales to join the Empress's war effort. Either to make a good end, or to win back a modicum of self-respect.
I absolutely love her voice actress, too. There was a whole video on YouTube of her just writing a nasty comeback.
Charmed, Lady
But you
Vivienne.
couldn't fit it all in the tweet.
Ah, but I didn't invite you to the chateau for
It
pleasure.
was great.
With divine Justinia dead, the Chantry's in shambles. Only the Inquisition might restore sanity and order to our frightened people. As the leader of the last loyal mages of Thedas, I feel it only right that I lend my assistance to your cause.
Well, I'm not... It's interesting that you can flirt with her, but it doesn't go anywhere.
You say you
At
led
all.
the last of the loyal mages. Loyal to whom?
To the people of Thedas, of course. We have not forgotten the commandment, as some have, that magic exists to serve man. I support any effort to restore such order.
What's in this for you?
The same thing anyone gets by fighting this chaos. The chance to meet my enemy, to decide my fate. I won't wait quietly for destruction.
And very likely you might be divine after this. Well, probably not in
You
this
say
run.
you led the last of the loyal mages. Loyal to whom?
To the people of Thedas, of course. We have not forgotten the commandment, as some have, that magic exists to serve man. I support any effort to restore such order.
So you're in favor of returning
Alright.
the mages to the Circle, then?
Where else can mages safely learn to master their talents?
She's got a
We need
point.
an institution to protect and nurture magic. Maker knows, magic will find neither on its own.
She does have a bit of a point, so I'm kind of a moderate when it comes to the mage situation in
The
general.
Inquisition will be happy to have you, Lady Vivienne.
Great things are beginning, my dear. I can promise you that.
Because, like, on the one hand, mages shouldn't just be locked up in a tower for their entire lives because they have abilities that they were born with. But the circles are like one of the only places where mages are taught how to control their abilities. And so I guess I'd be the person who would call for like some sort of like academy or some kind of education system that's has a couple different options. So like maybe there's like a boarding school for like a boarding school kind of type for mages who want to learn constantly. And those who just want to be to learn for a little bit but then return home to family. So
if we get better horses,
stuff like that.
I think that'll make a difference.
Master Dennett's horses in the hinterlands are faster and stronger than anything we've got here. A good horse can make...
Yep, I'm gonna be using the golden nug pretty frequently. I want to save all my stuff. Oh, that's pretty neat, actually. Yeah, I haven't seen Bones, but I can... That's still pretty neat.
Walk safely, Herald of Andraste.
I know she's in Game of Thrones. Unfortunately not playing the best character in Game of Thrones, but... The thing is, even with Game of Thrones, even if certain characters are not very memorable, at least the actors go above and beyond. Alright, so what am I doing? There's a bunch of shit to do, and I don't really want to waste a lot of time.
Travel safely.
I'll just chat with him quickly.
Expected you'd be by. I'm Harriet, and everyone knows who you are. How's the new gear fit?
Sturdy and warm. It's perfect.
Good. World's gone mad. Stock armor and blades are good against bandits, but with my gear will see...
Yeah, I usually don't... I don't
talk
talk to people too often at Haven or,
Something special. You bring the materials to us.
or Skyhold.
If I want
You know, like this.
what can you make?
I mainly just reserve it for the companions.
You'll need materials.
And again, I bypass a lot of this dialogue. So, I mean...
Right.
For me, it's just like I want to... There's certain things I'd rather prioritize. I'm only doing this just so I can get some of this quest stuff done and out of the way. Oh, good. Colin's right here. That's good.
You there. There's a shield in your hand. Block with it. If this man were your enemy, you'd be dead. Lieutenant, don't hold back. The recruits must prepare for a real fight, not a practice one.
Yes, Commander.
We've received a number of recruits. Locals from Haven and some pilgrims. None made quite the entrance you did.
At least I got everyone's attention.
That you did. I was recruited to the Inquisition in Kirkwall myself. I was there during the Mage Uprising. I saw firsthand the devastation it caused.
Sir.
Cassandra sought a solution. When she offered me a position, I left the Templars to join her cause. Now it seems we face something far worse.
I must have this mark for a reason. It will work. I'm sure of it.
Provided we can secure aid, but I'm confident we can. The Chantry lost control of both Templars and Mages. Now they argue over a new divine while the breach remains. The Inquisition could act when the Chantry cannot. Our followers would be part of that. There's so much we can... Forgive me. I doubt you came here for a lecture.
There I go, falling into the rabbit hole.
Our situation. I appreciate your opinion.
Look around. Our people are well organized and committed. Despite what the clerics think, we are in the best position to help. There's still a lot of work ahead.
Commander, Sir Raiden has a report on our supply lines.
As I was saying.
So, if I weren't playing this particular run, I would probably romance Colin. Compared to other, the other games like Origins or Dragon Age 2, and even like the Mass Effect to a certain extent, I'm not really committed to any of the romances in this game. Like, I like Cullen's probably the most. But even then, I'm not crazy about Cullen. You know, I'm not like a fangirl of his at all. And then some of the other characters. Solus, I have mixed feelings on his romance, and I don't know if I don't know if I love it because it's well written, or I don't like it because it's just so melodramatic and ridiculous.
There was this idol there made of it. Bartrand brought it back to the surface, and well, everything's gone downhill from there.
Oh, the red lyrium crap.
Red stuff is lyrium like a dragon is a lizard. It's not just a different color. It has a whole host of weirdness all its own. I've written to every mining cast house in Orzammar. No one's seen this stuff before or knows where it came from.
Yeah, the red lyrium stuff is really, really freaky.
What makes it special?
Regular lyrium can mess you up pretty badly, but you have to ingest it for that to happen. Red lyrium messes with your mind when you're just near the stuff. You hear singing, get violent, paranoid, and then it does creepy shit. Makes things float, brings statues to life.
Spooky.
It also turned Kirkwall's Knight Commander to lyrium. Everyone's been kept at least 100 paces from it since.
Yeah. Not sure if I might pick that up, but
I don't know. So as far as I
just
know,
had
the
a
only piece to make it to
take
the
or something real
surface was
quick.
destroyed, and the location of the tide it came from is a secret. Did someone find more of it in the deep roads? That's not a cheery thought.
Well, it makes me wonder if the red lyrium.
Yeah, not really my favorite subject.
I wonder if the red lyrium, since it was out in Kirkwall, but then it extended all the way out to Haven, it makes me wonder how big the Titan must be. That's in fact that has
this
it.
is it, huh? Oh no, it's fine, yeah? It's just, I thought it'd be bigger. That would have been hilarious if you were a man, right? Wasted. Anyway, stopping
I
wars
can't remember
should
what
earn
she
more
says if you're
sovereigns than
playing
this.
as a guy.
Need things back to normal for coins to be flowing again.
I generally play
Another
as a girl.
reason the Templars and mages need to be sat down.
I'm pretty sure the Conclave proved it's not that easy.
Yes, it is.
No, it isn't.
Why? Because someone yelled it real loud. Make them prove it. They're too busy to look up where the real questions are.
Right. They should know it's a simple job. End all war. Stitch the sky. The easy one first.
What's with that look, Sarah?
You're daft, yeah? Most people get special. They lose their snark. Can't see how stupid it all is. I think I'll like you, Lady Herald. Maybe you are a little touched, yeah?
I'm ready to give it a shot. That's all I can ask from anyone else.
I'm in. It's an investment, yeah? Better pay off, too. Stupid war and everything. I had things to do.
Yeah. Sarah tends to take the longest for me to get on good terms with. Generally, based on how I play. Or at least it's definitely going to be in this run.
At least we've got Inquisition troops out at Redcliffe now. Giving those people some real...
I need to take care of something over here. Yeah. I don't really upgrade potions all that much. Hello.
My thanks for any part you played in that.
Yeah. Well,
Sizzle
you
biscuits.
can pay me back by fixing the world.
You didn't really miss anything.
I'm in charge of keeping our little band here stocked with potions and elixirs. Not that Seeker Pentagast seems to care whether we've got the supplies to actually do that.
I found notes by
Just give him the notes and then
I wondered if you might be interested.
move along.
Let me have a look. This should...
Oh, and I missed the first opportunity to flirt with Colin. Because I'm not going for Colin this time. Yep.
You want some of these mixed up? You just give the word.
Alright.
Farewell.
Hey, that's no problem. It's no problem. Again, I don't have that many followers in general. On Twitter or anywhere. I'm mostly just doing this for myself. Just trying to get used to... wanted to try this out. And seeing whether I like it or not. And just do it for fun on the side. I don't plan to get big or anything.
Closing the breach is our primary goal. But I hope we might also discover what was used to create it. Any artifact of such power is dangerous. The destruction of the Conclave proves that much.
Oh, Ragoon, you missed it. You took too long. Don't worry.
You survived, did you not? The artifact
Vivian will return.
Unlike anything seen.
For the time being.
I will not believe it destroyed until I see the shattered fragments with my own eyes.
Yeah, you're gonna see the fragments, alright.
Do well to try to recover whatever created the breach.
Liliana's people have scoured the area near the blast and found nothing. Whatever the artifact was, it is no longer there. In any case, did you need me for anything?
Usually when I talk to companions, I just go with one topic at a time. So usually, I think I do the Fade first with Solus.
A great deal, from my wanderings. There are a few hard facts.
Aren't you freezing, dude? You're not gonna wear any shoes?
I'd like to know more about the breach.
Simply put, it is a tear in the veil between this world and the Fade, allowing spirits to enter the world physically. Small tears occur naturally when magic weakens the veil, or when spirits cluster at an area that has seen many deaths. But your mark allows you to exert some control over the breach. That means it was created deliberately.
Yep.
I'd like to know more about the veil.
Circle mages call it a barrier between this world and the Fade. But according to my studies in
Yep.
ancient elven lore, that is a vast...
Although the snow's not that deep where he's standing.
Imagine if spirits entered freely. The Fade was not a place one went, but a state of nature like the wind.
It sounds like it would be wonderful.
And dangerous. But yes, a world where imagination defines reality. Where spirits are as common as trees or grass. Instead, spirits are strange and fearful. And the Fade is a terrifying world touched only by mages and dreamers. I am glad that I'm not alone in seeing the beauty of such a world, along with the obvious peril.
I kind of like that I'm just slowly encouraging him. His worldview, but you don't really know it.
And seek to bring their chaos and destruction to the living. But such simplistic labels misconstrue their motivations, and in so doing, do all a great disservice.
And I am moving around the camera just so that there's something visually interesting going on screen.
Is there a way to coexist? To live with them? If not in peace, at least without such active confrontation.
Not in the world we know today. The veil creates a barrier that makes true understanding most unlikely. But the question is a good one, and it matters that you thought to ask.
We'll talk later.
Goodbye.
Yep, no flirting this time. Yeah, so not much has happened at this point. Mostly just running around. Oh yeah, talking to Liliana. I almost forgot her.
Ally with the Templars, I'd imagine. I've seen them wicked magic. What about the Rebel Mages? Rebel Mages probably made that damn breach.
Alright.
If you're here to clean, Hess can get you a bucket and a broom. If anyone calls you knife here, come to me. Oh.
Can you not see my impressive bow?
Inquisition quartermaster.
Like, look at this
I'm doing what I
shit.
can to supply this mess.
Dual dragons, man.
Find what I need to fill one of my requisitions. I'd appreciate you bringing it in.
Yeah, I heard that Ego Raptor was in this, that dwarf.
What did you mean when you mentioned requisitions?
But
Here, take a look. You find some iron.
I'm gonna talk for very
Make her
long.
go with you.
I'm not sure what to feel about Ecoraptor. But then again, I don't really watch Game Grumps all that much. That said, it's kind of interesting that he does appear. Barely recognized him at first.
Blessed are the peacekeepers, the champions of the just. Blessed are the righteous, the lights in the shadow. In their blood, the Maker's will is written. Is that what you want from us? Blood. To die so that your will is done? Is death your only blessing?
You speak for Andraste, no? What does the Maker's prophet have to say about all of this? What's his game?
This cutscene plays a little more smoothly on the PS4.
How is this a game?
There's some
Do you see
clipping
the
on the
sky?
PS3 version.
What about the temple ruins? The bones lying in the dust? Even if you didn't support the Divine's peace, you
Es
wouldn't call
verdad.
this right.
Very true.
Who could? So many innocent lives. The faithful murdered where the holiest of holies once stood. If the Maker willed this, what is it if not a game or a cruel joke?
I speak for no one but myself.
And yeah, I'm probably gonna
and I have no answers.
document and mention
You probably don't
every
even
single
worship the
little thing the
Maker.
PS3 version of this game screws up.
He asks a lot.
I beat the game 3 times on that platform.
He demands repentance for our sins. He demands it all. Our lives, our deaths. Justinia gave him everything she had, and he let her die.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, no matter how I feel about any
I'm sorry.
major
Her
content
death has
creators,
clearly hit you hard.
I don't really try
Not
to
just
judge
me.
them as people, because I don't know them personally at all.
She was the divine. She led the faithful. She was the heart. If the Maker doesn't intervene to save the best of his servants, what good is he? I used to believe I was chosen, just as some say you are. I thought I was fulfilling his purpose for me, working with the divine, helping people. But now she's dead. It was all for nothing. Serving the Maker meant nothing.
I really feel bad for Leliana.
Maybe you have another purpose. I could help you find it.
No, this is my burden. I regret that I even let you see me like this. It was a moment of weakness. It won't happen again. Come. To work, then. We will speak later.
Like, she seemed almost like a little too optimistic and cheerful in Origins, and then seeing her in this state in Inquisition just really makes me just feel sorry for her.
Come back alive.
God.
It's good you've returned. We heard of your encounter.
You heard?
My agents in a city sent word ahead, of course.
It's a shame the Templars have abandoned their senses, as well as the capital.
We had to do something, and now we have an opportunity.
Yes, and we have the opening we need to approach the Templars and the mages.
Do we? Lord Seeker Lucius is not the man I remember.
True, he has taken the orders somewhere, but to do what? My reports have been very odd.
We must look into it. I'm certain not everyone in the Order will support the Lord Seeker.
Or the Herald could simply go to meet the mages in Redcliffe instead.
You think the Mage Rebellion is more united? It could be 10 times worse.
I do like, at the very least, that,
Or you could stop bickering
both
and make
sides
a
at least
decision.
get addressed in the plot
I
a little bit
agree.
later on.
We shouldn't discount Redcliffe. The mages
Regardless
may
of
be
who you
worth the
pick.
risk.
They are powerful, Ambassador, but more desperate than you realize.
So it'll be dangerous. I've been in danger since I walked out of the Fade.
If some among the rebel mages were responsible for what happened at the Conclave.
The same could be said about the Templars.
True enough. Right now, I'm not certain we have enough influence to approach the Order safely.
Then the Inquisition needs agents in more places. That's something you can help with.
In the meantime, we should consider other options.
So this is the part of the game where the pacing does slow
There is
down a
one
lot.
other matter. Several months ago, The Grey Wardens of Ferelden vanished. I sent word to those in Orlais, but they have also disappeared. Ordinarily, I wouldn't even consider the idea they're involved in all this, but the timing is curious.
Pin this whole thing to the wall for later,
That does
because...
sound odd.
Dang
I
it,
agree.
Liliana.
The others have
Why are you such a
disregarded my
crap spy
suspicions,
master?
But I cannot ignore it. 2 days ago, my agents in the hinterlands heard news of a Grey Warden by the name of Blackwall. If you have the opportunity, please seek him out. Perhaps he can put my mind at ease.
And if he can't?
Then there may be more going on than we thought.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna change my armor. Might as well. Where? Right? Yep. I love this armor. I don't usually wear this, so I moved. Yeah, you would know about that. Yeah. So. I could probably get rid of the grip on that. What accessories do I have? Ring of Attack, I could probably equip. And... Belt of the Winter Pact. There we go. See there, Ragoon? There's your boob window. Alright. What else? Yeah. I just go by a couple different random abilities. I try to differentiate them a little bit enough. So I give, like, Sarah a little more of the subterfuge. Can't say that word properly. Abilities. Since I tend to use more of, like, poison weapons. I'm gonna give Vivienne one fire ability, since someone's not gonna last for the rest of the game. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. So, as for this part of the game, yeah, I can get him. Bull. Come on, Creme.
Excuse me. I've got a message for the Inquisition, but I'm having a hard
Jennifer
time getting anyone
Hale.
to talk to me.
What's the message?
We've got word of some Tevinter mercenaries gathering out on the Storm Coast. My company commander, Iron Bull, offers the information free of charge. If you'd like to see what the Bull's charges can do for the Inquisition, meet us there and watch us work.
I look forward to meeting this Iron Bull.
We're the best you'll find. Come to the Storm Coast and you can see us in action.
Alright, so I'm just gonna change one of the pieces of my weapon, and then I'm gonna go. Probably gonna head to the Storm Coast. So for this part of the game, when you have to get more influence, no power points in order to get to the next main mission, I tend to dislike this section the most because there's only so little you can do. And it's a little bit easier in the middle part of the game, where there's more maps and there's more activities to do. Yeah, I'm gonna hold on to this. And so in the middle, around the middle of the game, it's a lot better. In terms of just there's more for you to do. Of course, then that's when we have Here Lies the Abyss and Wicked Eyes, Wicked Hearts. Both of the missions are my least favorite in the game. Although Wicked Eyes, Wicked Hearts is the worst part of the game for me. Because I'm constantly looking at a guide. That said, I don't mind exploring when we're in that part of the game, because some of my favorite maps open up.
I don't understand.
And then sometimes I can just get lost in them for a little while.
My creator, judge me home.
But in the meantime, we have the Storm Coast, which I do like. And what's that marshy area that's further down south? Well, we'll see in a minute. Alright. Gathering coin.
Did you see the message I sent?
Yes, thank you.
Cult of Andraste. Alright.
Let's see what we have.
And yes, I do use a guide whenever I use the war table. It just makes it a lot easier for me.
Alright.
And I don't really care too much about the details of this, despite the potential still being interesting. Which one? Drop and grab. Josephine is available. Good.
Let us begin.
Alright. So, I think I'm gonna head to the... Yeah, might as well go to the Storm Coast. Yeah, I'll bring Viv along with Cassandra and... Yeah, I'll bring Sarah. So yeah, I'm probably gonna use Cassandra a lot, at least in the early part of the game, because she is my favorite warrior. Although I noticed in a bit of the lighting, my Inquisitor doesn't have any blush on her face, but she has freckles, so it kind of looks like she does have a little bit of blush on her cheeks, depending on the lighting.
Your worship, for what it's worth, welcome to the Storm Coast. I would have sent word sooner, but our efforts have been delayed.
How so?
There's a group of bandits operating in the area. They know the terrain, and our small party has had trouble going up against them. Some of our soldiers went to speak with their leader. Haven't heard back, though.
I'll do what I can to find our people.
Thank you, your worship. That's a relief. The soldiers didn't have an exact location for the bandits, but they were starting their search farther down the beach. With all this fuss, we haven't been able to conduct a proper search for the wardens either. Well, good luck. And enjoy the sea air. I hear it's good for the soul.
Ragoon, I believe you and I are playing two completely different games if you think that Bull can take a hit. That's my humble opinion, though. Get revival. And a mental note for myself is that when I do descent, I have to bring Dorian along, because otherwise the end game is going to be really rough. Though the end of that DLC is going to be rough. So I'm not going to go use descent. I don't think I'm going to do either of the DLC straight away. I usually save them for like the end of the game. Mainly because it is preferred that you complete them at a much higher level than when they're... I am very well aware that you were joking. I was just giving you grief. With all these extra abilities, I feel like I can breathe. It's wonderful. Though these guys are taking a little bit longer than usual to die. Smoother, guys. Alright. Well, Sarah, you can drink a potion if you need it badly.
Chargers! Stand down! Krim! How'd we do?
5 or 6 wounded, Chief. No dead.
That's what I like to hear. Let the throat cutters finish up, then break out the casks.
Good to see that Vega and Shepard are still together in another world.
Glad you can make it. Come on, have a seat. Drinks are coming.
Iron Bull, I presume.
Yeah, the horns usually give it away.
I wonder why his horns are so different from some of the other Kunari that I've seen. Although Dragon Age 2 was
I
rushed.
assume you remember Cremisius Aclassi, my lieutenant.
Good to see you again. Throat cutters are done, Chief.
Already? Have them check again. I don't want any of those Tevinter bastards getting away. No offense, Krem.
None taken. At least the bastard knows who his mother was. Puts him one up on you Canary, right?
So,
It took several runs for me to get that joke, too.
worth it. And I'm
I
sure
hate
the
being slow to
Inquisition
all
can
this
afford
stuff.
us.
How much is this going to cost me exactly?
Wouldn't cost you anything personally. Unless you want to buy drinks later. Your ambassador, what's her name? Josephine. We'd go through her and get the payments set up. Gold will take care of itself. Don't worry about that. All that matters is we're worth it.
The Chargers seem like an excellent company.
They are. But you're not just getting
Yep.
the boys. You're getting me. You need a frontline bodyguard. I'm your man. Whatever it is. Demons? Dragons? The bigger the better.
The clipping happens
And
more
there's
often
one
on
other
the
thing
PS3, but
might
it's
be
still
useful.
pretty bad here.
Might piss you off. Ever hear of the Ben Hasra?
They're a Kunari organization, right? The equivalent of their guards and city watch.
I'd go closer to spies. But yeah, that's them. Or, well, us. The Ben Hasrath are concerned about the breach. Magic out of control like that could cause trouble everywhere. I've been ordered to join the Inquisition, get close to the people in charge, and send reports on what's happening. But I also get reports from Ben Hasrath agents all over Orlais. You sign me on, I'll share them with your people.
You're a Kunari spy and you just told me.
Whatever happened at that conclave thing, it's bad. Someone needs to get that breach closed. So whatever I am, I'm on your side.
You still could have hidden what you are.
From something called the Inquisition. I'd have been tipped sooner or later.
Usually
Better you hear
later,
it
in the
right up
case
front
of,
from
like, Blackwall.
All right, you're in.
Excellent. Prem, tell the men to finish drinking on the road. The Chargers just got hired.
What about the casks, Chief? We just opened them up with axes.
Well then, Krem,
Find some
you're an
way to
idiot.
seal 'em. You're Tevinter, right? Try blood man. We'll meet you back at Haven.
Yeah, I don't... Sometimes I exhaust, dialogue wheels, sometimes I don't. Really depends. Also, considering the twist at the end of Trespasser, depending on how things were with, how you handled Iron Bull, I really wonder if, Andromeda's gonna have that kind of... Is that gonna have that? They're gonna have that similar kind of twist where you decide to go one way with your playthrough, and then come DLC or something, then it just bites you really hard in the ass. It'd be interesting at least, because that's the one thing I kind of did like. I do find interesting about this game at least. But then again, that's the beauty of Dragon Age over Mass Effect. Because I think Mass Effect kind of does have those kind of moments, but they come around much later. Like, something you do in 1 will affect the plot of 3, but it might be super minor. At the very least, I'm hoping Andromeda's ending is actually going to be a proper ending. Because 2 games in a row, we had games that had endings that were not very satisfactory. Inquisition did do a lot better, because at least it's a ending. But it's just, the final boss was just not very... wasn't as fun as it could have been, and
Those must be the bandits Harding mentioned.
as it could have been, like, say, in Dragon Age 2. Screw you, buddy. So I think I'm gonna deal with, the Blade... was it the Blades of Caesarion, I believe the group's called? I need to go back up this way, I think. Oh, and I got the trophy for, whatchamacallit, the temple in the Oasis, so I'm not gonna bother with the skulls this time. Yeah, I would find it amusing if they did throw in a joke about that. Like, here, let's go to a bar, and they only have 3 drinks. All different colors. Only 3 colors. Otherwise they taste the same. BioWare is prone to having that kind of sense of humor, at least. Which is amusing. I personally don't mind self-deprecating humor. Now, if the last video actually was kept in the archive, I would have checked to see if I actually did kill that Nug. Because I don't think I killed that Nug. So I let that one go. Alright, I don't care what Liliana's found. Am I gonna get a trial award soon? Because I would really appreciate it if I could get the Bow of Artifice at some point in the game. Now that is my favorite bow in Inquisition, because you drop landmine, you drop elemental mines, and it's so freaking fun. Made Descent a breeze. Oh well. Rest in peace, Nug. Thankfully, Liliana wasn't in range. I think after this, when I get to the camp, I believe Bull and Soulless, I believe, get approval.
These must be the missing soldiers.
Murdered. Shit.
Someone should pay for this.
It looks like the bandits are camped further along the beach. Our men were murdered by a group called the Blades of Caesarion.
If you're interested, it looks like we can challenge their leader.
Naming themselves after the sword that killed Andraste. Ambitious.
They just simply have a sense of humor. Alright. I need to find a cave so I can get some deep stalker hide. Hey Raccoon, does Vivian's ass count? At least you saw her ass for a little while. I think I collected all the seeds once. Guess I just got several collections done by this point that I don't really bother going after every little thing in this game. Give me your hide. Spiders. Yeah, thank you for the reminder. Yeah, I am not a very strategic fighter. Yeah, I was way more strategic when I was playing on hard mode. Is it asking too much for just a little bit of Deep Stalker hide? In fact, I actually wait until... I wait a considerable amount of time to complete that side mission, just so I can hear Tally just go on and on about how much he hates spiders.
I have a serious question for you, Iron Lady.
I can hardly wait.
In the Imperial Court, if someone uses the wrong fork at dinner, is that worse than death or just social suicide?
It's impossible to say, my dear. Anyone who has ever so misstepped was stabbed to death with the proper fork.
Of course. Every writer needs to do some research. Yikes! Get away! Yeah, in real life I do have a tiny bit of a fear of spiders. It's gotten better, but not by much. There we go. I had never heard Vivian say that. Clearly, I don't bring her along often enough. So, whoa! Somebody exploded. Yeah, I'm just gonna teleport over. Saves me time. Alright, so... Vivienne... And switching up the party a bit. Ball. Solace. Yeah, give Cassandra for a little extra muscle. Solace. I don't put too much thought into leveling up. General area, I believe. Right down here. I take all of the shortcuts. Makes everything a lot easier. I said Cassandra. Okay, you're just putting words in my mouth. Though Solus is a little more well built compared to some of the other elves in the series, apparently. Supposedly. I kinda slightly disappointed that I didn't play as a mage. Because I love how he mentions that he would like to see the Valen's will be dominated. It's like, oh my. That wasn't subtle at all. Sliding everywhere. Actually, the one benefit to you constantly having to pause to go check the actual map is that at least you're not relying too much on a map. Because sometimes when I play some certain games, I just rely too much on the mini-map that I don't pay attention to the surroundings. Although this game's clearly an exception, since the little thing on the left side is pretty useless.
The blades of Hissarion.
Oh no.
You killed soldiers of the Inquisition. We cannot let this stand.
You want justice? Claim it.
Wait, so you're Anders? Sorry. Alright. Good. Colon returned. Actually, this is the one time where all the enemies are just clumped together in one place. Makes this a lot easier. Because I've had cases where the dogs would just go running after me, and all these enemies would just fly, and they'd be all in different parts of the camp, and it would be a little difficult to control the fight. Although they're trying to do so right now. Just as comparison, Cassandra has full health and full guard. Bull has full guard, but barely any health. Whoa, that was a weird visual
As long as
glitch.
everyone here respects the outcome.
Yay for more agents.
You alright? I was just a girl. I remember them, you know.
I never actually took time to read any chapters of Varric's Hard in Hightown.
See? I told you. Alright.
Actually, no, I think I read the one where
Are you sure?
that appears in Trespasser. Where depending on the outcome of Here Lies the Abyss, there's one of the characters has a dialogue with another one of Varric's fictional characters, and the thing was like it wasn't written yet, and if Varric's in the party, he's like, "Wait, what? Who wrote this? I never wrote this." Oh.
Okay, that's badass.
Okay, did you like hear the dragon from super far away, and so you're just running like, oh yay! Dragon versus giant. I usually don't travel beyond this point for a little bit. So I'm gonna head back a bit and I'll take care of the whatchamacallit, the Fade Rift. And then I'll probably just head back to Haven. And then head off to the hinterlands. There is that marsh area, I forget what it's called. At the top of my head. It's not my favorite place in the game, but I could go there, but some of the enemies are like level 12, and I like to try to complete that map in one sitting. How could you level? I think that's automated if it's... Okay, not automated, but like it's programmed. And they don't factor in. Yeah, I'm not a game developer. I don't know my terms. I'm just pulling that out of my ass, but it is still amusing regardless. Although, to be fair, I misread that comment saying that, like, a level 19 you were struggling against a level 8 dragon. Like, wow, you must really be terrible then. Yeah, follow Meyer. Yeah, to follow Meyer, that's what it was. I think it's level 8. Yikes, and I'm definitely not prepared for this. I might be underleveled. Well, I can't tell. Maybe it is level 6. I can't really tell because the screen's so tiny. Yeah. Note to self, when streaming, don't bother with the comment side because I can't see very well. Fair enough, fair enough. I apologize. And I was playing Dragon Age 2 a little bit ago, and so part of me is still trying to get used to the fact that there are no healing mages in this game. If you need healing, you drink potions. Alright. Okay.
I confess, Solus, I am surprised you decided to remain.
Why? The breach remains a threat to us all.
And I fucked up.
Just the same. I wondered if you might leave now that we have a plan to seal it.
Ah, because I am an apostate. I might flee before the Inquisition throws me in chains. I take my commitment seriously, Seeker. Come what may, I shall see this through.
As you wish. Though I cannot guarantee what will happen in the days to come.
I mean, you gotta give Solus credit. You know, at least he tries to fix his mistakes. Even if in fixing his mistakes, he creates even more mistakes. Looking at my TV, not my TV, my computer very briefly, and it seems like that the visual quality looks a little bit better compared to the other day. Maybe I'm just not checking very closely. I also don't really have the best internet connection. This is a lot easier than I remembered. So the last time I did this, I was playing on hard mode. Although I think I even had even ground turned on when I was playing this part. Who left the book wide open right by the sea? So many questions. I do appreciate that there's a few more visual details in this game. Although in general it's really, really interesting seeing the difference between Mass Effect 1 and then jumping to Inquisition and just seeing how different the games look and feel. Especially how they look and just the overall design.
Placed a skull out here, and for what purpose?
Well, we're never gonna find out in this run. I already took care of that crap. I am doing it again. I mean, it is, Nah, I'll just take it all. I'm not gonna come back to this area anyway, so might as well just take everything. So, with the companions, I picked up Iron Bull. He's kind of like Zaid for me in that, like, I don't really have much to say about them other than they're awesome. Although in the case of Zaid, he's just not in the game in Mass Effect for very long, and he's a DLC character, so there wasn't much content with him to begin with. As for Iron Bull, the one thing I do like about Dragon Age is that the Kunari are rather interesting. I found them to be one of the more interesting races to the world of Dragon Age. I'm not the biggest fantasy buff, mainly because the series and contents I've tried to get into, they just seem so generic. They keep sticking to the usual humans, elves, and dwarf cliches with maybe like an orc or some other bizarro race that is like copy and paste from something else in between. Although it did take a while for Dragon Age to grow on me, and mainly I stuck around because I know that the writers in BioWare, they try. They really try. They'll take any kind of concept that's been done a billion times and they try to make it a little more interesting than it would be in the hands of lesser writers. And so I find the Kunari to be pretty interesting. Alright. And so I kind of do like listening to Bull and talking to him and hearing his perspective on the Kun. And I do think it's really cool that this game, that Inquisition, even though the plot is not the best in the series, there is a lot of lore that's expanded upon in this installment, and so there's more mysteries that are worth exploring in the future games. Something tells me that there's going to be, like, if they're playing like 4 or 5 games, I wouldn't be surprised if they needed to expand onto a 6th, considering how much material they have to deal with. Yeah, the camp. Where else? Stop by Haven. Drop off some stuff. All the scaled ones are shown. Yeah, the thing is, the Kunari aren't really based on a already existing race. And I just find like the whole rigid society of the Kunari to be really interesting. But then again, Iron Bull is basically just better than Talus. Like, I kind of like Mark of the Assassin as a DLC because it's really, really fun and goofy, but Talus is not the best part of it.
Cullen's putting his Templar training to good use.
Did Cullen tell you he was a Templar? He's not wearing the armor.
He didn't have to. Might not be a Templar shield, but it's a Templar holding it. He angles the shield just a bit down. Helps direct fire or acid away, so it doesn't spray right into your face. Kunari learned the same thing when we trained to fight Tevinter mages. Your Templar's doing good work.
Although I do like that Iron Bull, despite being a big, muscular guy, he's pretty observant and really, really smart.
I'm impressed by what Cullen has accomplished with the troops.
Damn right. It takes time to build a group into a team, but he's got their loyalty. Now he just needs them to make a decent shield wall, and they'll be good to go. Biggest problem for the Inquisition right now isn't on the front line. It's at the top. You've got no leader, no Inquisitor.
Then maybe we need one. I'd be willing.
You? Huh. Why you?
Because no one else is willing to do it.
Nobody else seems to be stepping forward, and since I can seal rifts, I'm here whether I like it or not. If it proved necessary to have an Inquisitor, I could make a go of it.
But yeah.
For a second there, you
Talus is just,
My people don't pick leaders from the strongest, or the smartest, or even the most talented. We pick the ones willing to make the hard decisions, and live with the consequences. Who knows? Maybe you sealed the breach. The Chantry gets off its ass and all those soldiers go home and get fat.
You think?
It could happen.
I do think it's amusing that the Chantry is just running around like headless chickens while we're doing all the hard work. And if the game really does take place within the span of a year, man, the Chantry must really be in a state of shock to not do shit for a year. And as for like Talus, like, I'm all for trying to add some depth and showing another side to an organization or culture that only gets painted in one way. But Talus was just not well done at all.
I'm not sure. Where are you from?
My clan never stayed in one place for long, though we primarily roamed the free marches.
Oh? I didn't think your people roamed that far north.
Yeah,
Maybe I
that too. Talus is
told
kind of
some members of
inconsistently
your clan
written.
might still be alive.
But she comes across also as like a Kunari apologist.
Wherever I am.
Like she defends the Coon in every possible way. Like it's like, oh yeah, it's flawed. Yeah, but you don't understand. It's really just like this instead. And it's like, okay, can you please just accept that? Can you at least just not try to defend every single wrong thing that the Coon does?
They have no Templars, no leadership, and no one left who is worthy of succeeding the Divine. It has fallen apart when everyone needs it the most. I ache to think what this will mean in the days to come.
Do you really believe the Chantry is worth preserving?
I do. Though I understand how someone born outside of human society might think otherwise.
For me, the player, who is not particularly fond of the Chantry as well.
From history. The people need stability, and the Chantry needs a new purpose. Andraste had a dream for us. It can still be achieved.
So, what should this new purpose be?
A dedication to what is truly important. Instead of building cathedrals and sewing gowns for the Divine, the Chantry used to spend its coin feeding the poor. If we are to spread the Maker's word across the world, we must do so with open hearts and open hands.
That sounds rather idealistic of you.
Does it? I do not think it's so unachievable. The Chantry has many good, honest people. They just need direction and inspiration. They need to be freed from centuries of adherence to tradition and ceremony. A chance for renewal is at our fingertips. It does not have to come with utter chaos.
Yeah.
I'm surprised you rebelled.
Yeah, there needs to be more
I left my own
people who actually are willing to live what they preach instead of having useless leaders like, say, Althena.
I suppose history shall one day judge my actions.
Will the Chantry replace divine justice?
You know, the more I look into discussions online, the more I kind of agree that Althena was pretty useless. And she might have been...
Sometimes it takes days, or weeks, or even months.
She probably is one of the other big villains of Dragon Age 2, because she just lets all this shit happen when she could have just stepped in at any point in time. And she's part of the reason we're in this mess.
So what happens if they can't agree on someone?
Theoretically, they will argue until exhaustion takes them or they see reason. Practically, however, if the grand consensus goes on too long, the Chantry will crumble. Any cleric with ambition but little sense will see this as her one chance, and plenty of such clerics exist. We shall see what happens. The Inquisition must act in the meantime.
If they do choose a new divine, will you serve her?
That depends on whether she would have me. I am a rebel now, remember?
I'm not particularly picky about who's divine in this game by the end.
I am no longer in a position to follow blindly. and no new divine could expect such obedience now.
Yeah, I'm not gonna ask about Roderick because he's an ass. Yeah, but usually when it comes to the divine, I usually get either Liliana or Cassandra. Although the more I think about it, Vivienne really isn't a bad choice, because in some ways, some amount of improvements will be made somewhere. You're just gonna keep running in that general direction, aren't you, dude? Fine, fine. Continue down Liliana's quest.
There were so many questions surrounding Faria's death. Did he think we wouldn't notice? He's killed Faria, one of my best agents, and knows where the others are. You know what must be done. Make it clean. Painless if you can. We were friends once. Wait! What are you doing? He betrayed us. He murdered my agent. And you'd kill him, just like that. You find fault with my decision?
We can't solve our problems with murder.
And what would you suggest? Leave him be. Butler's betrayal put our agents in danger. I condemned one man to save dozens. I may not like what I do, but it must be done. I cannot afford the luxury of ideals at a time like this.
Now is precisely the time for ideals.
You feel very strongly about this. Very well. I will think of another way to deal with this man. Apprehend Butler, but see that he lives.
I actually was a little more invested in
Now,
Liliana's
if you're
story
happy, I have more work to do.
when I imported my save, where I think it was my Brosca was in a relationship with Liliana, and so it was kind of nice trying to help Liliana change and help her get back on the right track, especially when the hero of Ferelden was asking you to help her.
I met an elven mage earlier. Solus, I believe he was called. I admit I was surprised. I didn't expect to find mages among the Inquisition. Tell me, why were you at the Divine Conclave?
The war benefits no one. It must end, and order must be restored.
If only the rebels saw things so clearly. Justinia's death has shattered the balance of power in Thedas. If it is not restored quickly, countless lives will be lost. Mages, Templars, innocent people of all kinds now look to the Inquisition to decide their fate.
That's why you wanted to be here, to have a hand in deciding that fate.
Wouldn't you? For almost 1,000 years, the world believed it was in the hands of the Maker. And now many believe you are the agent of his will. Whatever the truth is, that belief gives you power.
Once this is over, the task of speaking for the Maker will be the Chantry's problem again.
That's reassuring to hear. I've stolen enough of your time, my dear. Don't let me keep you.
I mainly picked that option as a way of saying, you know what, let the Chantry deal with its own crap after all this is over, you know? This is their laundry. Let them take care of it.
I will take these injury reports to researcher Minave.
Mistress Lavelle, do you have a moment?
Give me a sec, I need to turn in stuff.
Thank you.
Did you need something, Ambassador?
Yes. Well,
More character
not
building.
precisely, but I should like to know if anyone here has treated you unkindly, Herald, for being an elf.
Well, someone did tell me to clean stuff earlier.
I can deal with a few whispers and sideways looks.
I shall speak with the staff regarding such conduct. If we're to convince the world that Andraste's herald is an elf, the Inquisition must give you its utmost support. Stories of wild Dalish elves have grown even more outrageous as people learn of you.
I'm playing on normal mode with 2 trials on to increase a little bit of the difficulty.
I would prefer not to repeat them.
So I guess arguably this is a custom difficulty mode.
Children, selling peasants to slavers, burning down villages, using infants for blood magic. Those are the stories about your fellow Dalish. I won't repeat what they've said about you.
The humans telling those tales are the first to take a knife to someone with pointed ears. My clans defended ourselves against them more times than I can count.
Really? I had no idea.
Well, apparently you weren't in Orlais then, because elves are treated like crap there.
It may help if I know more about how you and your clan lived.
The human towns we traded with ate the same food and suffered the same weather we did.
Ooh, a mage on Nightmare. That's definitely a challenge.
That must have been difficult. Still, you must miss your clan.
All my friends are there. Before I came to the Conclave, the clan was my whole world. I'd like to see them after everything is done.
Okay, I'm not gonna laugh. It's gonna be really sad.
Elves and fame tend to go poorly together. I hope my clan doesn't suffer for it.
We can make inquiries as to how they fare if it worries you. Perhaps the Inquisition could lend a hand.
I played a mage on hard mode, and it was difficult at first, but after a certain point in the game, it was pretty easy, actually. I think I had some issues at, like, a Sillidan Keep, I believe. That's in, Empire du Lion. My French is awful, by the way. I had some difficulties there, but that tends to be hard on every
Have you kept
mode.
in touch with our friends in Lady Esterly's estate?
Several
Which one's
balls will play
fastest?
for her tomorrow night. We will have names soon enough.
Imperial Court.
Let's see what we have.
Thankfully, at this point, I don't have to abuse my internal clock. Because everything is so short. Busy. Yeah. Never hurts to grab more coin.
To work?
I got 10 power already. That's pretty good. Alright. Might as well just get to the hinterlands this way, since I'm in this room. So for Blackwall, Cassandra, Sarah, and Solus. Yeah, I think I gave up on hard mode once I got to the DLC. So I basically just beat the game in its entirety. And then I jumped into DLC after, once I completed the final mission. So then I think I didn't bother with Jaws of Hakon in that case. But I did do Descent. And then I did Trespasser. Both I did on normal mode, I believe. Alright. Sarah. Is she not wearing armor? Jesus, Sarah. Yep. Are you kidding me? She has no... Are you kidding me? Alright, guess I'm gonna switch her out. That was not very smart of me. I usually don't have this problem, I swear. Yeah, she just took a nap and just like, oh wait, we're on the road? Crap, forgot my stuff. Yeah. Let's bring Vivienne just to see if she and Solus snipe at each other. All we're missing is Dorian. Please tell me. Okay, yeah, Vivienne is definitely prepared. Oh yeah, I already went through her inventory stuff, I believe. So, is she good? Yeah, she's fine. Yeah, there's certain pieces of armor I just don't put on my companions because they just look really, really bizarre. Like half the armor just looks really weird in this game. In fact, I'm not really fond of any of the armor in the Dragon Age games in general. Although, I think Origins did have a few pieces of armor that were pretty decent. I just don't remember half of them at the top of my head. The other thing I do is that whenever I look through loot and I see any weapons or armor that have pieces and upgrades, I get attached. I just pick them up, then I go to the blacksmith or whatever, and then just play around until I can just get those pieces off and collect them. It's a lot easier when you get to Skyholds, so you can just put everything in that box where you could just store things for later. Yeah, the closest we get to good armor is in Dragon Age 2's DLC. Which I bought all the packs in just one go. I've spent way too much money on that game. I can't help it, I love Dragon Age 2. One thing I usually do whenever I play this game for a long period of time, I just listen to whatever music I'm into. Helps pass the time, or I listen to podcasts. It's how I catch up with all sorts of content on YouTube and stuff that I miss. Hi, Blackwall.
Remember how to carry your shields. You're not hiding, you're holding. Otherwise, it's useless.
Blackwall? Warden Blackwall?
You're not... How do you know my name? Who said... Ah! That's it. Help or get out. We're dealing with these idiots first. Conscripts, here they come!
In a similar vein, Blackwall's another character that had to grow on me over time. So, like, the thing with Sarah and Blackwall, I like them once we get to Trespasser. Wow, really? That was quick. I guess I'm a bit over-leveled at this point. Oh well.
Sorry, bastards. Good work, conscripts. Even if this shouldn't have happened, they could have... Well, thieves are made, not born. Take back what they stole. Go back to your families. You saved yourselves.
Those dust clouds.
You're no farmer. Why do you know my name? Who are you?
Again, Liliana's pretty crap at her job.
I know your name because I'm an agent of the Inquisition. I'm investigating whether the disappearance of Wardens has anything to do with the murder of the Divine.
Maker's balls. The Wardens and the Divine. That can't... No, you're asking so you don't really know. First off, I didn't know they disappeared. But we do that, right? No more blight, job done. Wardens are the first thing forgotten. But one thing I'll tell you, no Warden killed the Divine. Our purpose isn't political.
Okay, Ragoon, try not to drool throughout this entire cutscene, please.
I'm not here to accuse. Not yet. I just need information. I've only found you. Where are the rest?
I haven't seen any Wardens for months. I travel alone, recruiting. Not much interest because the Archdemon is a decade dead, and no need to conscript because there's no blight coming. Treaties give Wardens the right to take what we need, who we need. These idiots forced this fight, so I conscripted their victims. They had to do what I said, so I told them to stand. Next time they won't need me. Grey Wardens can inspire. Make you better than you think you are.
Generally speaking, I tend to get along well with Blackwall. It's just that sometimes his insistence on you being a beacon of hope gets a little frustrating.
Could take whatever they want.
It's complicated.
At least it's frustrating for my Inquisitors. Particularly the ones who are skeptics.
Outside of blights, it's as binding as a clever tongue can make it.
Do you have any idea where the other Wardens could have gone?
Maybe they returned to our stronghold at Weishaupt. That's in the Anderfels, a long way north. I don't really know. Can't imagine why they'd all disappear at once, let alone where they'd disappear to.
It's been a pleasure, Warden Blackwall, but this didn't help at all.
Inquisition.
That look on his face.
Did you say? Hold a moment.
Like a puppy that's
The
like...
divine is dead and the sky is
puppy
torn.
dog eyes.
Events like these, thinking we're absent is almost as bad as thinking we're involved. If you're trying to put things right, maybe you need a warden. Maybe you need me.
Those eyes are the reason why I regretted not recruiting him on my one run when I tried to play an asshole.
The Inquisition needs all the support it can get. But what can one Grey Warden do?
Save the fucking world if pressed.
So what's it with the guy, all these guys in their puppy dog eyes and
Maybe fighting
Dragon
demons
Age
from the sky
anyway?
isn't something I'm practiced at. But show me someone who is. And like I said, there are treaties. Maybe this isn't a blight, but it's bloody well a disaster. Some will honor them. Being a warden means something to a lot of people.
I really do like what he says there.
Warden Blackwall, the Inquisition accepts your offer.
Good to hear. We both need to know what's going on. And perhaps I've been keeping to myself for too long. This warden walks with the Inquisition.
Okay. I think I'm probably gonna wrap up pretty soon. It's been about 2 hours. So, just gonna do one little run through here. Level up a bit, and I'm probably gonna call it a day here. I might just continue playing in like an off session where I'm not being recorded. Blackwall's like the one warrior where I don't need to invest in the Vanguard tree and I have no problems, although I do so anyway. Is there anything in the inventory? The buckler, no. 69. Shield. Oh yeah, he needs that shield. That's for bowl. Okay. Gonna head off to the camp to save. But yeah, Blackwall, it took a couple of runs for me to really like him. I actually romanced him once. I don't think I finished that save file though. Actually I should probably work on that when I complete this. I kind of actually like him a little bit more as I went through that romance, so, thanks, Ragoon, for, kind of convincing me to give it a shot. Although, it's kind of funny, because I'm playing as a dwarf while doing so. So. Alright. Gonna save here. Alright, thanks to the handful of people that stuck it out. Hope you had a little bit of fun. I'm gonna call it quits.